Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and in this video we are going to be taking a look at the top 4 accounting softwares for small businesses. The first software here on the list is going to be Xero. So this is the Xero pricing right here. Essentially you can get up to 75% off for 6 months. That's the current deal that they have on now, and if you want to claim this, you can do so using the link in the description. However, the pricing on Xero I wouldn't say is the best for an accounting software. Now, there is a reason that Xero is priced like this, and what I would say overall about Xero is that it's got a lot of features, so you can go very in depth. But because of that, when it comes to being a beginner and using this as your first accounting software, there is a lot to learn and it doesn't really have the best user interface for a beginner. So what I would say about Xero is if you want a more complex accounting software where you can do more things, but is less beginner friendly, then Xero is probably going to be the best option. So let's ignore the pricing right here for right now, although you can get this. For the startup, this is usually going to be £15 per month. We can send quotes and 20 invoices. So very, very limited here with the amount of invoices that we can send. But keep in mind that this is per month. So for a solopreneur or even a freelancer, this will probably be more than enough. We can also enter up to 5 bills, reconcile bank transactions, so I will explain a little bit more about that later. Of course, submit VAT returns to HMRC. Now this is UK specific where I am right now, but essentially from this, just take this from no matter what country you are in, you can file all of your tax returns on this lowest plan. Then we have a few more things right here. We have payroll that is optional for 2 months. This is on all of these plans, and the only way you actually get this is on this ultimate plan for 55. We can also claim expenses, track projects, Analytics Plus, and submit CIS returns. And these are all going to be additional while we are on these lower plans, unless we are on the ultimate right here. So as I say, Xero is really not the cheapest accounting software, but it does have a lot of fantastic features. So right now I am on the sample dashboard. You can see right here we have Bank One. So this is my bank account in theory that I have connected to Xero. And what it means by reconcile is that I can click in right here and it's going to show us this area where it shows us all of the recent transactions that we have had from this bank account. Now, Xero is extremely smart, and what it is essentially going to do is match up the data that we have inputted into Xero against the transaction that is actually on the bank card. If it matches up and is an exact match, then we can click on this confirm button right here, and that is just going to file and save that transaction. Alternatively, if something is a little bit off, if one of these don't match up, then you can just go ahead and change it right here. Now, coming back out to the dashboard, we can see we have like invoices owed to you. So we can see like overdue invoices, how much is owed, how many are awaiting payment. We can see everything in here. We can see total cash in and cash out for each of these months, any bills that we need to pay, tax and reporting, and then also account watch list. So you can set a budget for how much you want to spend in each area, see how much the budget is for the month, and then also how much you have spent year to date. So if I just turn this sample dashboard off right here, and you can now see the main dashboard. All we have to do to create an invoice is click on create your first invoice. And then we can set the invoice up right here. So then we can enter in the name. I'm just going to enter my name. Then we can enter an email. Then all we have to do is enter in the billing address, the phone number. Let's see if it allows us to save without this. Perfect. So we have the contact added in right there. The issue date of the invoice number, the reference. If we want to set up online payments, we can do this right here. And essentially doing this is going to allow customers to pay the invoices by like credit or debit card, or we can also set up bank transfers. So we can set that up right there. Just click on get started and it will take you through. Then we can set up the currency, and in here we can actually create the invoice. So if I just call this marketing services, then this is going to make us create an item so we can fill all this in right here. And let's add a price, so 999. Sales account. So let's just say this is sales, and then add a tax rate. And just like that, this is going to be added in. So then all we have to do is click on approve and email, and that is going to be sent to the email we entered in right here. Or alternatively, we can like approve and print a PDF. We can get a link for this, or we can just save and close if we don't want to send the invoice right now. In the business section, we can also take a look at short-term cash flow, business snapshots. We can look at online payment, sales overviews, expense claims. So this is where you can enter in any expenses that you want to claim back on your tax. Then we can see things like bank accounts. We have this report section right here. So if I open this up, this is what I mean about Xero just being a lot more in-depth than some of the other accounting softwares on this list. So we can go down to like payable invoice detail. I don't think there will be much data in right now because this is not my actual account, but we would be able to see all of this data right here. We can then see some other things such as VAT returns, profit and loss, balance sheets, basically everything that you need as in detailed as an accounting software goes, you have it in Xero. You can manage employees right here. You can set up leave and timesheets, pay employees, set up taxes and filings. And those are the main things that we need to know on Xero. So overall with Xero, I would give this a 7 out of 10 as an accounting software. It is a little bit pricey and the user interface is not the absolute best, but it does have a good user interface and has an absolute ton of features that you will need as a small business owner. Now, the next software that we will be taking a look at is going to be Zoho Books. So this is the dashboard right here. And what I will do before we go into that is take a look at the pricing. So what you will notice about Zoho Books is they have a lot more pricing structures than Xero did. So this ranges from anything between Xero with this free account right here, all the way up to $240 per month. So one of the incredible things about Zoho Books is that this can really be used for anybody who is a small business owner, all the way up to somebody who has a big enough business to be spending $240 per month on their accounting software. Now, these two elite and ultimate plans are set for specific groups of people. For example, you can see with Elite, you can integrate Shopify stores, warehouse management, serial tracking numbers. So you don't really get anything extra with these, I would say, apart from like these two things right here. But these are just more for specific niche group of people who want to integrate certain apps and integrations with Zoho Books. So realistically, for most people, this ranges between $0 to $60, which is a lot more in line with Xero that ran from, this is probably around 20 to once again around 60 in dollars because we're looking at this in pounds. Now with this free account, this is technically free forever, but you can only be making up to 50 USD per year with this free account. And then at that point, you have to upgrade to one of these paid plans right here. And then they have no cap on how much you can make with each of these plans. So with this free plan, you can add one user and accountant. You can manage clients, manage up to 1,000 invoices per year. You can access a customer portal, automate payment reminders, and there are a lot of things that you can do with this free plan right here. So what I would recommend is just pausing the video right here if you do want to use Zoho Books, and you can take a look at all of the different features that you get with all of these different plans and figure out how much Zoho Books would actually cost for you personally. Now inside of Zoho Books right here, this is the dashboard. So we can see total receivables. This is like how much money we are owed that hasn't been paid yet. Then total payables, how much we owe that we haven't paid yet, as well as current and overdue for both of these. Then we can take an overview on our cash flow, income and expenses, and top expenses are shown right here. And then we have a few other things like projects, which I will explain a little bit more about. Effectively with projects, this is where you can like time track the amount of time that it took you on a specific project so that you can bill a client for those hours. So as an example, let's say that we are going with marketing services. Let's just call this marketing services. Then we can fill this in and say based on project hours. Say this is £50 per hour. So we can then go in and save this. And then we can see everything about this specific task right here. And then if we go into timesheets, we can actually log the time. So let's choose this same project, marketing services. Let's create a task as well, actually. Full project. And then in here, we can log time spent. So let's say we spend 10 hours and 0 minutes. Save. And then we can log this in and we can now see that we spent 10 hours on this project. This is currently unbilled. So this is just a fantastic feature that we can get inside of Zoho Books that allows us to keep on track and keep on top of the time that we spent on each project. On top of this, we do have some other of the main features that you should be able to do with any accounting software. So in here, you can link up your bank accounts. So you can add a bank or credit card and link it to the accounting software. We can go into invoices right here. This is where we can create an invoice. So we can either create a new invoice or a recurring invoice. So let's just go for new. We can add in some preferences right here. But if I just select this customer, we can add new customers as well. And then all we have to do is fill in the information for this project right here. Choose if this has a discount or anything like this. And then we can either save this as draft or send this to the person who needs to pay that invoice. We can also see all of the customers that we have inside of Zoho Books shown right here. So how much they owe, their work number, their email, all of the information, any quotes that we want to give customers, invoices that I've just covered, payments received, recurring invoices, credit notes. Down here, we can get into purchases, so the bills that we owe, recurring expenses we owe, and keep on top of this right here. Then we just have time tracking, which is the timesheets we spoke about. And then down here, we also have reports inside of QuickBooks. So you can see we have a lot of reports right here. What I would personally say is I prefer the Xero reports. I just think they look better. They are more well-defined and overall just more in-depth. But it is personal preference and really depends on what you are looking for. So we can see things like budgets versus actuals, movement of equity. Of course, we have a profit and loss sheet. This is pretty basic. You need this in an accounting software. So you can set all of this up right here and get access to all of these reports. And that is Zoho Books right there. So Zoho Books is another incredible accounting software. In my opinion, it is slightly worse than Xero. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. The pros being everything that we just covered in that last section. But the cons being the reports are not really as in-depth as Xero. And overall, I think the user interface is a little bit worse. And I definitely prefer the user interface of Xero. I should also mention that if you do want to access any of these paid plans right here for a 14-day free trial, you can do so using the Zoho Books link down in the description. Now, if you are a freelancer or even a small business owner that has very basic needs when it comes to accounting, then Wave could very much be the best option on the list. The main reason for this is because Wave has by far the best free plan out of any accounting software, with this starter plan right here coming in at $0, and then the pro plan, the only other plan they have, coming in at $16 per month. So this is a very basic but also very cheap and most of the time even free software, because you can genuinely do most of the things that you need to on this free plan right here. We can create unlimited invoices and bills even on this free plan, add your logo and brand colors, automate late payment reminders so that we can do this on the unlimited plan, invoice on the mobile app, create unlimited bookkeeping records. Then down here, we do have a few limitations. So digitally capture unlimited receipts, auto import bank transactions, auto merge and categorize transactions, and a few other things. You do need to upgrade to this $16 per month plan for. Apart from this, we can see if we do want to digitally capture unlimited receipts, this is either $11 per month or included on this $16 per month plan. So at this point, if you are spending $11 per month, you might as well upgrade to this plan right here. Like there's literally no point in not. Then if you want to run payroll, then that's $20 per month. But honestly, if you get to the scenario where you have to run payroll within your business, then at that point, I would probably recommend to upgrade to one of the other softwares that we talk about on this list. So that is the pricing right there. And as you can see from the Wave dashboard, it literally looks like it's meant to be. Very smooth, very, very simple, and for very basic bookkeeping. So what you'll notice is if I go to report right here, like they do have a few reports. Definitely nowhere near as many reports as Xero and Zoho Books. But considering this is free, the reports are still very decent for what you're going to get here. So we do have reports. Then we can go over to the dashboard right here. See the cash flow coming in, the profit and loss, payable and owing, net income, expense breakdown. We can also go to sales and payments where we can add customers or see all of our customers right here. we can create invoices. So I've done this for every other software. Let's do it with Wave. And you can see the way that we create an invoice is very, very different. So the first thing that we need to do is add in a logo. So I'll drop that in right there. Then we can update the accent color to be the same, this beautiful blue. And then we can also choose a template. So let's just go for this. Then looks great, let's go. And in here, we can go in and fill in the rest of this. So let's call this marketing services. Then we can enter a description. 999, and then add a customer right here. So we want to add the customer name, add their email, and then we can save. And then just like that, all we would now need to do once this is created, save and continue. And then we can go ahead and approve the draft if we want to send it to them, or we can edit the draft right here. Essentially, this is going to be saved though. So at any time, if we go back into invoices, this is going to show up in the draft section right here. We also have this beautiful bar at the top that shows us any overdue invoices, any that are due within the next 30 days, the average time to get paid from the invoices, and any upcoming payouts. Then in here, we can set up the payments that we want to receive. So if you want to receive with Visa, MasterCard, Amex, or any of these options, just follow the step-by-step that it gives you right here. We can then see recurring invoices, any customer statements, the customers that we have, of course, we can add these in right here. And then all of the products and services that we offer. So that is sales and payments. Then purchases is pretty self-explanatory. This is just all of the outgoings. So any bills that we have, we can add in right here. Any vendors that we owe money to. Products and services that we frequently buy. Then we can see receipts. Go down to accounting, see transactions, reconciliation. So this is very similar to the reconciliation that we saw earlier inside of Xero. They even have a video right here that walks you through the entire process. But as I said, if you watch the earlier section inside of Xero, then you already understand this. Then under banking, we can connect accounts and also receive payouts. We have payroll right here. That is, of course, an additional bonus. You do have to pay for this. And then we have tax filing as well. So that is Wave right there. And once again, I'm going to give Wave a 7 out of 10, but a very different reason behind it than why I gave Xero a 7 out of 10. The reason I'm giving Wave a 7 out of 10 is not because of the massive range of features that it has, because honestly, it doesn't. It's a pretty limited software, and you can definitely see that in the price. However, that's the reason I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Wave is for small business owners or freelancers that are making a little bit of money, but don't have crazy taxes to file yet, and also don't really want to be paying for an expensive accounting software. So that is why Wave is getting a 7 out of 10. And if you fall into the categories I just mentioned, definitely the best accounting software for you. Now, the final option, and in terms of the software itself, definitely the best, but it's very, very expensive, and that is Freshbooks. Now, at first glance right here, Freshbooks doesn't look crazy expensive, right? Like $19, $33, and $60. Those are pretty much the average prices that we've been seeing for all of the other software. Until we take a look here, and look at this. We can send unlimited invoices, but only up to 5 clients. So if you have 5 clients or less, and it's going to stay that way, then the Lite plan is awesome. You get access to Freshbooks, and it's only $20 per month. But for most people, this Plus is probably going to be the best. This gives us access to up to 50 clients, allows us to send unlimited invoices to those 50 clients. So I would say for most small businesses, this is going to be absolutely fine. And then for the premium, this is pretty expensive at $60 per month, but this allows you to send unlimited invoices to an unlimited number of clients. But let's close this down and actually go into the software and see what we get here. So in here, once again, we don't have any data, but we can see all of the outstanding invoices that's going to show up right here. We can see revenue and expenses. We can see total profit, revenue streams, spending, unbilled time. And you can see right here, the layout for sure, like the user interface, the way everything looks, is a lot better on FreshBooks. Another thing that I want to show you that I really love about FreshBooks is the reporting. So the reporting, you can like pin your favorite reports to this top bar right here. And then let's say, for example, we want to go into invoice details. we can see everything in here. So expense report, we can have this as well. And then as I mentioned earlier, to pin these to the top bar, we simply just have to do this. Then under clients, this is where we can view and see all of the clients. And overall, what I would say, I haven't mentioned it up to this point, but essentially FreshBooks combines the best of Xero, being a very in-depth and a lot of features accounting software, with that is very, very simple to use. So it's the best of both worlds in that it's very, very simple to use, but it has a lot of features like Xero does. So under clients, like even if we go to this clients area right here, we can see how much we are due, how much is outstanding, how much is in draft. So let's add a new client in right here. So we can do that. We can also set up reminders if we want to charge late fees, currency and language, any invoice attachments. But let's click on save for now. And that person is going to be added right here. So let's now go and create an invoice. Once again, we can create recurring templates or also retainers. But let's just add a standard invoice. We can do that either here or here. So let's create this, select a client, add a logo. And then all we have to do here is enter in what this is. Marketing services, add the rate. And just like that, we created that invoice. So we can then click on save and then choose to send this out. Something I also mentioned, let's actually go back in here and edit this. We can accept online payments right here, just like we can on most of the other software. And if we go back, we can see all of the options that we have here. So we can download this as a PDF, we can send by email, add a payment, all of these other options. Then retainers, so this would be really nice for a marketing agency where you can set this up to just automatically send them an invoice every single month. Once again, we can track the time here just like we could on Zoho Books, and also view client reports. Down in the payment section, this is where we can see all of the payments that we have received. So the client, the payment date, any notes, and then the amount that they paid. We can then go to expenses, which is going to allow us to keep on top of bills, see any vendors, upload all of this. Then we have time tracking. We already covered this earlier, but essentially what we can do is add a client or project in here. Let's just add this company, say marketing services. And then we can either set the time right here. So we can say like 10 hours and then add this, or we can actually start a timer for this. So we can add like the client and service in here and then have this running in the background whilst we actually work on that service. So we get an exact precise time. So that is an option right there. We can either discard this, or if we click on log, it's actually going to log the time right there. Then payroll, this is for paying employees and things like this. So you just set all of this up in here. You can either import this from another software, or you can start your trial right here. And then the final thing that we need to cover is the accounting section right here, where we can see accounting reports, update your books, bank reconciliation again, and all of these other options. So overall, I am going to give FreshBooks an 8 out of 10, specifically for the software. Now, it is more expensive, so if you are on a little bit tighter of a budget, then I would definitely recommend going for Xero. However, if you do want to invest more money into your accounting software, then FreshBooks is an awesome option and probably the best on the list. So those are the best accounting software for small businesses in 2024. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.